Here it comes from Dr. Frankenstein's laboratory in the haunted 444RR studios. It's The Talk Is Right, the only UCast with ghosts, goblins, and ghouls. Oh my! And now, here is your scary host, 444RR.
All right, everybody, welcome to the next episode of The Talk Is Right. It's Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody. Before we get started, I just wanted to say I'm so sorry about last week. I had a little bit of a cold, and I wasn't feeling like myself, so I'm sorry about that. All right, now we're going to move on to our next episode of The Talk Is Right today. I'm dressed up. If you can't tell, you probably can't. Zachman18 thought I was a leprechaun, but I'm actually the Wizard of Oz, and I have my courage and my heart right here. So I'll give this to probably a lion and a tin man a little later on today. Also, you're probably going to wonder what's in the box behind me. Let me show you. Let me get my box here. Nothing but M&Ms in here. M&Ms. Maybe, just maybe, I'll snack on those a little later on in the show. Who knows? But I'm filming this in the morning, so it might be a little early for M&Ms. I don't know. I don't think it's ever early for M&Ms, though. All right, let's get started with our game show news. All right, so game show news for this week. First, we'll talk about The Price is Right like we always start off with. I wanted to say that this week on The Price is Right, it's their Halloween episode today, so I hope you guys watch that. And it should be pretty good. It's going to be Price is Right Carnival. Drew Carey's the ringmaster. I know Manuelo's going to be a snake charmer. Rachel's going to be a strong woman or strong man. Amber is going to be a bearded lady, and George Gray's a contortionist. So something like that. Yeah. So it should be pretty exciting to see that today, and everybody's going to be dressed up in costume in the audience. And a little spoiler alert, one of the contestants is dressed up as the Big Wheel and gets called to come up on stage. So it's pretty cool. Costume looks neat. There's a promo picture CBS put out with somebody dressed up as the Big Wheel. So that should be pretty exciting. Also, Rob Wilson, you might remember his name. He was the male model on The Price is Right. Well, congrats to him, because CBS Price is Right has said we're going to bring Rob back for a couple more episodes later on in the year. So congrats to him. I'm glad he's coming back. He did really well. I thought it was the male model. So should be good to see him back. Okay, now I want to talk about The Price is Right Live, baby. The Price is Right Live. I'm going to go do a huge review of it. If you haven't seen the video on my channel, you need to watch it. I got called to come up on stage. I'll do my little bit first. I was one of the first 4 contestants called to come up on stage, and then the first item up for bids was a karaoke machine. Everybody except me had overbid. The actual retail price was $190, and I said $175. So I got called to come up on stage, play a pricing game with Todd Newton. There's a really hilarious moment. I told Todd Newton I'm a college student, and he was like, what are you studying? And I said IT, which is information technology or computers. And there was a funny thing with the announcer, Randy West, and Todd Newton. Kind of a funny exchange there with the IT business. So go check that out on my channel. And there was an audience fake out, because as they revealed the game, they played the Plinko music, the Plinko intro cue. And when the curtain raised, I thought I was going to play Plinko, but then Punch-a-Bunch was standing there. So cool, I got to play Punch-a-Bunch. Actually, it's one of my favorite games. I love when contestants get to punch out the little holes. And so, yeah, and then I got to play Punch-a-Bunch, got $300 on my first hole, $200 on my second, and on my last hole I got $100. So I'm leaving out of there with $100 in a karaoke machine, so that's not too bad. So, so I'll get some more review of the Price is Right Live. The Price is Right Live is a lot different than the TV show. Every time they call 4 new contestants up, every time an item up for bid is played. So they actually called up 24 people throughout the whole show. There's only 5 pricing games. There's technically 6, but they count the Big Wheel as a pricing game. And they called 3 new contestants up for the Big Wheel. The showcase is wiped clean. The top winners don't get to go to the showcases. They called 2 new people up for the showcases. So a little different than the TV show. Yeah, so the prizes are played for a little differently as well. Like, Punch-a-Bunch was played for $2,500, as well as Plinko was played for $2,500, I think, or was it $5,000? Can't remember. Cliffhangers was played for, I don't remember what Cliffhangers was played for, but Hole-in-One was played for a refrigerator, and Any Number was played for a $1,000 trip to Vegas. So the prizes are really I don't want to say cheap, but they're cheaper than on the TV show. They're not as expensive. And the showcases were pretty cheap, too, because what happened with the showcase was they showed you a bunch of prizes like in the regular TV show. But what they did was they said, you're bidding on everything, which I don't think you were bidding on everything because there was a car in the showcase. I'll explain more in a minute. I think you were bidding on everything but the car. What they did was have the people make their bids. Whoever was closest to the actual retail price without going over won the cruise in the showcase. They didn't win every prize. They just won the cruise. And then, so but if you were within $100 from the actual retail price of the showcase without going over, you got every single prize. Now, the showcase was only $13,000, including a new car and a cruise. I don't think they were bidding on the new car, possibly. I think it was probably just the cruise and some of the other small prizes. But I could be wrong. Even though Todd Newton said you're bidding on everything, that showcase was pretty cheap. I don't think they were bidding on the car. Or that was an extremely used car to get it for $13,000. It was like I think it was a Honda or something. It was a cheap car. So I don't think they were bidding on the car. We almost had a double overbid in the showcase. The one guy bid like $16,000 on his showcase, and the lady wanted to bid $30,000, but she forgot an extra zero on her bid. And she was like, can I change it? Can I change it? Can I change it? And Todd was like, no, you wrote $3,000 down, so we have to go with that. And if they would have let her change her bid to $30,000, she would have been over as well and would have had a double overbid on the showcase. So I'm glad they didn't let her change it. So glad the rules are very strict on that. Back to cliffhangers for a minute. The guy who played cliffhangers totally bombed. He said $20 for an electronic dartboard, and it was like, how much was it? It was like $50. So the mountain climber went off the mountain on the first prize. So that was not fun. But it was really cool to see the mountain climber go up the mountain and hear the little yodely guy music. That was really fun. And the guy really bombed on Plinko, too. He only got one extra chip. He got the free one, then the extra one, and he only got $200. He dropped the first one into $0, then he dropped the second one into $200. So he didn't really get that much money. The lady won the refrigerator and hole-in-one, which was exciting, and the lady won the trip to Vegas in the any number game. $1,000 trip to Vegas. I don't think some of the prices are right in that show. I think they're probably because Todd Newton and Randy West actually ran the show 9 years continuously out in Las Vegas. They started in a small little casino in Reno, Nevada, and then they went into Bally's Casino in Las Vegas, where they ran the show for 9 years there. I think they're using Las Vegas prices. I think they really are for some of those prizes, like the Las Vegas trip. I think they weren't accounting for like airfare and stuff like that, because you can't do a $1,000 Vegas trip including airfare. I think they were giving away. I think it was Bally's Casinos where they were. I mean, it was like the prize description made it sound very glorious, like it should have been like a $4,000 trip to Vegas. So I think that they were using Las Vegas prices, not including airfare and stuff like that. So I do have to say, though, I got to meet Todd Newton after the show, talk to him for a few moments about Family Game Night. I told him I loved Family Game Night, and I thought he was a really good host, and he was like, oh, thank you. And Todd Newton's really cool on and off screen, on and off the stage. He's really a nice guy. So I'm so glad I got to meet Todd Newton. He honestly is one of my favorite game show hosts that's on TV right now, and of all time. He's in my top 5 of all time favorite game show hosts. I mean, He hosted Whammy really good. He hosts Family Game Night really good. So I'm glad I got to meet Todd Newton, one of my favorite game shows. He's my number 2 favorite game show host on TV right now. He really is. Number 1 being, of course, Steve Harvey. I love Steve Harvey too, but he's really good on Family Feud. But Todd Newton's a really great game show host. And Todd Newton was actually slated to host The Price is Right. A little behind the scenes information. Todd Newton actually had the gig. They did a bunch of test shows where they brought in a bunch of various celebrities like Rosie O'Donnell and some other people, but they also brought in Todd Newton. From what I've heard, he was actually slated to be the new host of The Price is Right because he did so well on his audition. But CBS went with Drew Carey because they wanted to bring in that younger crowd, so they didn't pick Todd Newton. But if Drew Carey ever leaves, CBS needs to hire Todd Newton because I think he rocks as a game show host. He really does. Just the byplay he had with me in when he was just kind of talking to me before we started playing Punch-a-Bunch makes him a great game show host. And makes him great for The Price is Right too. So CBS, if you're watching this, Todd Newton, He needs to be the next host of The Price is Right. All right, enough Price is Right live stuff. Let's go on to the next thing. Wheel of Fortune and its sister show Jeopardy. ABC-owned television station group. So that means television stations that are owned by CBS. Some of them include WPVI in Philadelphia, KGO-TV in San Francisco, WLS in Chicago, KABC in Los Angeles, WABC in New York, and WTVD in Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina, and KFSN in Fresno, California, have all made a deal with Sony Pictures and ABC to renew Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy through 2016. Now, the markets I just named, those TV stations I just named, are the only ones who have renewed Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy through 2016, which should be pretty exciting. So we're going to still have Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy on a lot of programming. I think most networks, most of the major markets that are not listed, like DC and some of the other major markets, like some down in Florida, will probably renew it soon. But those are the ones that have said, hey, we're going to renew it now. I know that Pat Sajak, Vanna White, and Alex Trebek's contracts are up soon, so hopefully they'll renew their contracts as well, because I do love all three of them. Not much Alex Trebek. I've never been a really big fan of Alex Trebek. I'm going to get a lot of comments about that. He's a great game show host, but sometimes he comes across as being real arrogant on Jeopardy. Like, he's like, nope, that's wrong. And it's like, Alex, if you didn't have the answers in front of you, you wouldn't know half the answers either. So, but I don't know half the answers either on Jeopardy, so can't complain. But sometimes he comes across as being a little bit of a rude man. He's like, nope, that's not right. Just the way he says nope. It's like sometimes he's like, you could be a little nicer about it. Anyways, okay. Now I want to talk about Steve Harvey, another great game show host. I told you I love him. He was on Ellen DeGeneres this week. And he talked about the craziest Family Feud answer he ever got. It was a family, and the woman came up to the challenge podium, smacked the button, and said, name a word that begins with pork. And the lady said pork loin, or pork lawn. And Steve Harvey's like, are you saying lawn? And she spelled it out, and it was loin. And the way I don't have the exact spelling, the way she spelled it, but she spelled it a little differently. And then Steve went over to the podium and was like, name something that begins with pork. And one of the family members said, porcupine. And Steve Harvey was on the floor for like 10 minutes laughing. The name of the video is Steve Harvey on Crazy Family Feud Answers. It's him on Ellen DeGeneres. Go check it out. It's really funny. Also check out Steve Harvey on Family Feud. I think it was the first time he was on Ellen DeGeneres. The first time since becoming the host of Family Feud. He had talked about how his son scared him, and he bopped his son in the face, and Ellen scares Steve Harvey so bad. It's such a hilarious video. Go check out Steve Harvey getting scared on Family Feud, or on Ellen DeGeneres. All right. So all the game show news. And I did want to say, too, that two more things. I will do a review next week of the Halloween episode of The Price is Right, so stay tuned for that. And also, I wanted to also tell everybody that I emailed Fremantle Media. If you remember, I reported about last week, Fremantle Media was looking for contestants. They emailed me back, and they said, if you're ever in L.A., call our office. Call Fremantle Media's head office. They said, we're looking for mostly Family Feud contestants, or Let's Make a Deal contestants right now. But they said, if you're ever in L.A., give us a call. So, hey, if I ever go to L.A., which I feel I'll go soon, I might give them a call and see if they're looking for Price is Right contestants. That'd be kind of cool. All right, so that's it for game show news this week. I'm going to move on now to the magic-related segment of this show. All right, I know I said it's time for the magic-related segment, but before I do that, though, I wanted to go into the breaking entertainment news. I wanted to talk about this. I don't know if you've heard it, but Mickey meets Yoda. Mickey meets Yoda. What does that mean? Mickey Mouse is going to meet Yoda. Here's the deal. Disney is going to buy Lucasfilms, the people behind Indiana Jones and Star Wars, and also some great video games like Grim Fandango and Monkey Island. They're going to buy Lucasfilms for $4.5 billion. That's billion dollars. They're going to buy it for $4.5 billion. Walt Disney, this afternoon, which was yesterday, announced a deal to buy Lucasfilms from Star Wars director and film pioneer George Lucas for $4.5 billion in cash and stock. Under the terms of the deal, Lucas will be paid half in cash and half in the form of about 40 million Disney shares. So Lucas is actually going to be holding 40 million of Walt Disney's shares in stocks. And then also that Disney is going to ruin all LucasArts films. I mean, they're going to remake Star Wars, not remake, but they're going to bring out another Star Wars, Episode 7 in 2015. I mean, I don't know. And they're probably going to remake Indiana Jones too and bring out another Indiana Jones movie. I don't know. They haven't announced that yet, but they probably will. So, as you can see, I think Disney's just going to ruin Lucasfilms. Now, speaking of Disney buying Lucasfilms, I'm actually going to revamp now YouTube Speaks. We're going to bring that back, but we're going to revamp it a little differently. There's going to be, this is super simple. YouTube Speaks, instead of it being a video response, post your thoughts in the comments down below. What do you think of LucasArts selling their company to Disney? What do you think? And post your thoughts in the comments below. That's how we're going to do YouTube Speaks from now on. You're going to be posting your thoughts in the comments below instead of doing a video response, because I think a video response takes a lot more time than just typing a few words in the comments. So, yeah. All right, now we're moving on to the magic-related segment. I do want to talk about Dynamo first. If you don't know who Dynamo is a UK magician. He's a really good one, too. So you might want to go check him out. But Dynamo is actually going to open for the hottest boy band around right now, One Direction, on their UK tour. So he's going to be the opening act. So I don't really like One Direction that much. So I know that's going to be a lot of hate mail for that. But I think their one song, they're basically a one-hit wonder. I mean, their biggest song is "You Don't Know You're Beautiful." So, I mean, that song's not too bad. It's just overplayed. At least where I live, we have a radio station that overplays it too much. That's why I don't like it. I mean, when you overplay a song, I don't like if you overplay your song. I guess it's not their fault that my radio station overplays it, but whatever. Okay. I did want to talk about, I talked about it a few weeks ago. I mentioned that there's going to be a new Discovery Channel show called Breaking Magic, in which 4 magicians, including Wayne Hutchinson, are going to be doing some magic on the street and doing kind of the science behind magic. Well, it's been bumped to 2013, according to Wayne Hutchinson's Twitter feed. He said, Discovery wants to say Breaking Magic for the new year, which means it will not air November 11th. Disappointing, but this is good news. Well, psych! I'm only kidding, because Discovery, on the very next day, after Wayne Hutchinson put out that tweet, they said, you know what, we're going to bump it back to its original November 11th debut. So please watch that. It looks like a very interesting show. They're going to show you the science behind magic kind of thing. It's going to be like they're going to take magic on the street and tell the people how it's done scientifically. So I think that should be pretty exciting. So Discovery's done some pretty good magic specials. They did that one with Penn and Teller where it was, I can't remember the name of it, where they had the, which one of them was wrong. It was kind of like Penn and Teller BS. It was kind of like that. I can't remember the name of it now. It was good, the limited run it did have. All right. Producer developing film about the Magic Castle is our next story. The famed Hollywood Magic Castle, which is an elite magic club, only magicians can get in. You have to know a magician to be able to get in there. Will get the feature film treatment if producer Ted Field has anything to say about it. Field has begun development of a big screen production centered around the Mansion's Magic Club and performance space. The project is set up at 20th Century Fox, according to The Hollywood Reporter. Meanwhile, the Magic Castle has signed on for representation with Creative Arts Agency. The Magic Castle is a very interesting place and could be the jumping-off point of many, many different stories. A National Treasure-style high adventure for example, for a detective story, kind of like a, detective story. I don't know why I just did that. For like a detective story, kind of a National Treasure type style. So that'd be pretty cool, you know. Be kind of cool. So we'll see if that will happen. You know, maybe the Magic Castle, hopefully, let me go for it. Okay, now I'm going to change out of this costume because and I'll change back into it in a minute, but I want to do the magic trick for this talk is right. Normally I review a magic trick, but I wanted to show you one I've been working on. It takes a Halloween song and sets it to a cup and ball routine. So it's really, really cool. It's called The Devil Went Down to Maryland, and I'm going to do it for you right now.
All right, here we go. It's time for a little story. I'm going to sing especially for you. So pay close attention, and this is how my story goes. The devil went down to Maryland. He was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind. He was way behind. He was willing to make a deal. When he came across this young boy busking in the streets with balls and cups, the devil jumped up on a trash can, and he said, "Boy, let me tell you what. I guess you didn't know it, but I'm a street magi too, and if you care to take a dare, I'll make a bet with you. Now, you busk pretty good, boy, but give the devil his due. I'll bet a tankard of gold against your soul, because I think I'm better than you." The boy said, "My name is Bob, and it might be a sin, but I'll take your bet. You're going to regret I'm the best there's ever been." All right, devil's going to go first. Watch the cups and watch the balls. Here we go. That's number one, baby. Here's number two. That's number two. I am loving this. Yeah, man. Alright, let's see if we can get the third one to go. Wait a minute. Whoa, what's that? Jeez Louise. And that's all three balls, baby. Yeah, I am loving this. You know, I have no idea what to do with this next part. So you know what I'm just going to do? You know what I'm just going to do? I'm just going to kind of do something like this. Hang on a second. Little guitaring, baby. All right. Yeah. Solo. When the devil finished, Bob said, "Well, you're pretty good, old son, but sit down that spiky tail right there and let me show you how it's done." I'm going to go next. Watch this. Ball number one. Hi. Ball number two. You guys catch it. Whoop, no, a little too fast there for you, I guess. Watch the last one. Gone. There's number one. Come on. Push. Let's do number two. There's number two, baby. Final ball. Come on, we can get it. Push. Push. Final push. Yes, there we go. All three balls have returned. Well, the devil bowed his head because he knew that he'd been beat, and he laid that golden tank on the soles of one of Bob's feet. Bob said, "Devil, just come back if you want to try again. I told you once, you son of a gun, I'm the best there's ever been." Three balls, and now for the finish, a little juggling. Here we go. This is for you, Chris Ballinger. All right. Here we go. A little faster. Yeah. Oh, you're scaring me. Ready for the big finish? One-handed. Oh! Alright, that's going to do it for the Talkers Right this week. Here with our announcer, the Zachman18. He just wants to kind of give everybody a happy Halloween message. Zach, go ahead.
Hey guys, Zachman18 here. You guys have been announced for the Talkers Right. I've been with you guys for 14 episodes now, all 14 episodes. And happy Halloween to all of you out there. Hope you get lots of candy and do whatever you do to kind of celebrate Halloween, watch scary movies. That's what I'm going to kind of do. I'm going to be doing a little Animal Crossing Halloween episode while Bob's going to be doing his cool little live chat tonight. So I'm excited. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Yes, happy Halloween to everyone. And can't believe October's over already. So
I know.
Next week, we're back to regular Talkers Right episodes. And then join us for our Christmas episode starting in December. So that should be pretty fun. From myself.
2 weeks until Christmas.
Oh,
2 weeks
yes.
until Christmas.
Well, that's going to be exciting. For myself and our wonderful announcer here who's with us, the ZachMan18, and from all of us at the 444RR Studios, remember to help control the zombie population. Always do the Thriller dance. We'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.
The Talk is Right is sponsored by the following.
Knife After Dark. Rated R for retarded.
This is the ZachMan18 speaking for The Talk is Right, a 444RR production.